The water stations are the biggest obstacle. Just it's hard for me to like try to look over and get in my, go get water myself without hitting somebody or somebody running into me or me getting in somebody's way. Or
I mean, I think that's one of the most challenging parts is that when it's so crowded in the beginning, the Boston Marathon is faced as crowded anyway.
Right.
So I think it's just navigating. If I always feel if we're kind of staying the course and staying straight, it's much easier. But if we have to move over to get to one side or get water, when those wave one runners are coming, that's usually what's most challenging.
I don't know. I mean, it's fun to just, show others that even if you're low vision or whatever, you can still accomplish great things and still have just as much fun as everybody else. And it's fulfilling and it's just, I don't know. I love running ever since I picked it up and I don't plan on stopping. So
in bigger cities, they have groups like adaptive sports groups, Achilles, Team Catapult. They're there to connect guides with athletes of all disabilities. Yeah, I felt some imposter syndrome for a little while because I was just thinking, I don't know if I really belong here. Like all these people have qualified and I'm just here supporting,
Brett, welcome to the pod. I'm really excited to have you here along with Cheyenne and Dara.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Great. So let's start with you all ran 2025 Boston Marathon. So let's start with maybe you can the quick introduction about you. What do you do? And where are you from? Yeah.
I'm Brett Sims. I live in Northwest Ohio. I'm just working a factory right now, looking maybe to, move on to something different before too long. It's just hard to train and stuff. I was on third shift working nights.
Okay.
But yeah, I've ran the last 7 Bostons now, the last 3 in the para division.
Great. I'm going to talk a little bit about what does it mean to run as a visually impaired, but I'm really curious to learn about that. Cheyenne, you want to share anything about yourself or background?
Yeah, so I'm Cheyenne. I'm originally from Texas. I actually just moved to Ohio less than 2 weeks ago. And I've been a guide for almost 10 years now. I was a triathlete and a runner in college. And then when I got out of college, I was looking for something new to do. And I got into the world of guiding and just never looked back. And so that's how I ended up meeting Brett. We met through the blind and guide community online and started talking and dating long distance. And then we decided to close the gap.
Awesome. That's a fascinating story. Welcome.
Thank you.
Dara?
Hi, I'm Dara Dalmata. I actually live in Hopkinton, Massachusetts, where the Boston Marathon starts. And I got into running back. My first marathon was in 2007. And it happened because, I live in Hopkinton and there are amazing running communities here. So you get sucked in. I did my first Boston in 2008. And I have a friend here in Hopkinton, Carly Grant, who was Brett's original guide. And we've kind of been sharing guiding just based on us getting injured over the years. And this was my 3rd time guiding Brett. I guided him twice for the full marathon. And this year, Cheyenne and I split.
Oh, cool. So I'm very curious, Brett. Let's start with what does it mean to run as a visually impaired, a full marathon, that also Boston?
It's, I don't know. It's fun to just, show others that even if you're low vision or whatever, you can still accomplish great things and still have just as much fun as everybody else. And it's fulfilling and it's just, I don't know. I love running ever since I picked it up and I don't plan on stopping. So
cool. Like how if you were to say the challenges that you face compared to some other runners, what would that be in a race day, on the course itself?
So for the pair division, we start right after the elite women, so we're in front of wave one. So they start about 10 minutes after us. So we get to about mile 3, between 2 and 3, and then that first wave, the really fast people catch us. And it's just like it's a stampede. So we're just off to the side, on the far side, one side or the other of the road, trying to not get run over. So Dara and Carly or whoever is guiding me that year, we just kind of stay on the side, and she tries to keep us safe from getting trampled. And then like the water stations are the biggest obstacle. Just it's hard for me to like try to look over and get in my, go get water myself without hitting somebody or somebody running into me or me getting in somebody's way or whatever. So they help with that. They'll either go in before me or they'll go get it they'll go grab water for me and bring it to me while I'm still out still running.
I think back to that part of the race, and I think of it as tetras, because you just have to somehow fit yourself in through people and get the water and then come back.
So let's talk about it from a guide point of view. What are the couple of things you consider to make sure that they're safely can go through the race course?
I mean, I think that's one of the most challenging parts, is that when it's so crowded in the beginning, the Boston Marathon is faced as crowded anyway.
Right.
So I think it's just navigating. I always feel if we're kind of staying the course and staying straight, it's much easier. But if we have to move over to get to one side or get water when those wave one runners are coming, that's usually what's most challenging. So, but I think, we having guide on our back and have Brett having blind on the back, we hope helps, because people can, at least as they're approaching, they can know, so they understand, like, give us space. They understand, like, we need to stand together. So not that people don't cut in between us, but I think it cuts down on that. So.
Cool. And how does the pairing happens? Like, how do you, for example, Dara, you got paired with Brett. What are the considerations? Is your the pace and a couple of things you're interested? How does the pairing happens? Or it's more randomized?
Well, I think Brett might be able to speak to that, because I know that him and Carly found each other on, I don't remember which site on the internet, Facebook site maybe, but it's typically it is done by, the pacer is willing to run between this pace and this pace. The runner can run and if it matches that, that's great. But typically, if you're a guide, you want to be comfortable running slightly faster, so that you can feel comfortable while also paying attention to all that's going around and potentially helping. So that's something you want to keep in mind.
Cool. Oh, that's good to know. Brad, you want to chime anything on this? How do you get paired?
It's just, so I was going to have a guide for the first time at 2020 Boston. And Carly, that Dara mentioned, she was on one of the Facebook groups asking, I want to guide someone. Does anybody have like any insight how to get connected? And at that time I had one of my friends was going to come guide me. And then, so I told her, go talk to my team with the vision, they might be able to pair you with someone that's, looking. Well, then a month or so later, my friend was like, hey, I can't go anymore. So I'm like, oh crap, now what? So I went back and I found Carly again. And I was like, hey, did you happen to find anybody to guide yet? And she said, no. So I was like, how do you feel about running with me? My friend can't do it anymore. And then just from there on, we have been friends and stayed pretty close. And obviously 20 got canceled. So we had to wait until fall of 21. Then we finally got to meet and run together, and we've been great friends ever since. And she introduced me to Dara and her family, and now we're all just one big family. And I look forward to seeing them all every time I go out there.
Nice.
Carly and her husband even allowed me, like they let me stay with them on race weekend now in Hopkinton. And then this year, Cheyenne was Cheyenne's first year, and they let her stay there too. And we just had a great time. And
nice. And Cheyenne, how did you get into? You said you joined the guiding community and never looked back. How did that happen?
Yeah. So first I'll tell you about that, and then I'll tell you more about how other people get connected, because there's other ways that you can do it too. So I ran cross country in college, in high school and college, and then I was kind of burnt out on just running. And so then I started doing triathlon, and I was at a triathlon when I saw a man who was blind racing with a guide, and I had never seen this happen before. Mm-hmm. I had never even met anyone who was blind before, only had ever seen it on TV, in movies. And so I was just like amazed. And so I went and talked to their group after the race and said, I'd love to get involved in this. How can I get involved? They said, meet us at the park and we'll show you everything. So literally I met them at the park the next weekend. They gave me this tether and said, okay, like go run. And I had no idea what I was doing. But then, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed getting to help someone achieve their goals, but also like just getting a fresh perspective on things, learning more about accessibility and inclusion, and also like being more aware of my surroundings myself. Because if I'm looking out for someone else, I can also notice things like the birds and smells and other things that I wouldn't normally pay attention to. So then I started guiding for running and triathlon, and I've guided everything from 5K run to Ironman triathlon.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely love it. But I think for the pairing, Dara's right and Brett's right. Like you want to be with someone who you're comfortable running their pace. Right. When Brett started out, he lives in a rural area. And so there's not a lot of resources and connections out here. So you kind of have to like do your own networking and find your own way. In bigger cities, they have groups like adaptive sports groups, Achilles, Team Catapult. They're there to connect guides with athletes of all disabilities. And so from there, you meet those people, and then the blind and guide community is rather small. So you can network and you can recommend someone to race with someone else, or, getting connected through those organizations is a really great way. And then also there's a database called United in Stride, and you can type in your zip code and find people in your area, whether it's a guide or a person who's low vision who needs a guide, and you can get connected that way.
Oh, thanks for sharing. That looks like there are quite a few resources available for folks who are looking to find someone to help them or guide them. Thank you. Let's talk about a little bit, how did you get into Boston? I think for Brett and Dara, it's not your first time running Boston. You've been running for quite some time. Maybe you want to share how did you get into Boston, and anything you may be helpful for folks who are trying to get to Boston in different ways.
So I started out running just 5Ks, and then I was like, I could probably do a half marathon. So I ran a few of those. And then in 2018, I was like, I'm going to run a marathon and see if I can get to Boston, just because it's, the oldest, most prestigious race.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can get in. I knew my qualifying time was just 5 hours. So I registered for the Columbus Marathon in 2018, and I ran that I don't remember what my time was, but it was under 4:19, I think. So then I registered for Boston 19. I ran that by myself. My dad and a couple friends went with me to spectate and cheer and just hang out, and it was rough. I'd never run with a guide before, but during that race, I realized it's probably not safe for me to run this big of a race by myself. So after that, I run with a guide every year. And I've ran the last 7 Bostons, and those are the last 7 marathons I've ran. I haven't ran any others.
Cool.
I qualified for Boston at Boston. So
I see. Cool. Dara, anything you want to share getting into Boston?
Yeah, I mentioned my first marathon was in 2007. So that was, again, I think a result of just joining the Hopkinton Running Club and getting addicted.
Yeah.
And just becoming it's a social thing, right? So
Yeah.
had run a half marathon, and someone just kind of planted the seed. Oh, I'm running the full version of that. A lot of us are doing it. You should do it. So that I ran the 2007 Bay State Marathon. It's in Lowell, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Very flat, fast, very, one of the well-known qualifiers for Boston. So, I was lucky enough to qualify that first year. So ran 2008.
I see.
Was my first Boston. So, yeah.
Cool. And then you continuing after that?
Just continuing. Yeah. I mean, I've had some fits and starts. I've had 2 kids since my first one. So I may have taken a couple of years off here or there, but I'm lucky enough. This past Boston, I qualified at the Charles River Marathon, which is in September. So it's the last day before you sign up for Boston. And so qualified and texted Brett and said, I'll see you at the finish line, because I knew we were splitting that year. So I said, well, I'm going to qualify and then I'm just going to keep going.
That's cool.
So I texted him and said, see you there. Yeah.
Is it true if you're in Hopkinton, you pretty much get that bug to run Boston at some point? Can't avoid it, is it?
I will say, I mean, obviously not everyone does. There's friends of mine who think I'm crazy, but I will say there are 2 running clubs in town, and both of them run Couch to 5K programs. And I think that's a really good example of, I've known a lot of members of that Couch to 5K who literally had never run a 5K before and were just happy to get to that 5K. And then 2 years later, they're coming to that Couch to 5K program, volunteering and giving a little motivational speech to the members to say, you can do this. Like, look at me now. Like, I didn't think I could run a mile, and now I just ran the Boston Marathon. So you get the bug. There are many, many charities in town that get bib numbers that you can raise money for. So I feel like you have that connection to the smaller charities in town, and people think, okay, I can raise money for that. So yeah, that start line is right there. So it's people get inspired for sure.
Right. It's called, what is that big sign? It's called It All Starts Here, right? On the start line. Yeah. That big sign there. Yeah. I happened to chat with Gary McNamee. I don't know if you know him. He's also in Hopkinton. He's one of my pod, because he actually also has a company that he has built specifically supporting virtual running with a simulator. So it's a cool story. But I don't know if you're part of Hopkinton Running Club or not, but I know he's part of a running club.
What was his name? Gary
McNamee.
Yes, I recognize the name from the club.
Yeah. I think not sure if he's part of, but I know he's part of a running club. I don't know, a couple of them or not, but it's a big running community in Hopkinton for sure. Yeah. Let's talk about Brett. You are in Ohio, and you're running Boston. And then again, a lot of people travel nationally, internationally, coming to, Boston area for the race. So how do you go about planning? Because I think you have to figure out a couple of logistics, and biggest logistic people, figure out is where to stay. And so how do you figure that out? Maybe you want to share something, because you've been doing it for the last 7 years.
Yeah. So I just booked my flights, and then 2019, my first year, I just, my dad and my friend flew with me. I think we took an Uber probably to the hotel, and no, we ran a team with a vision. So they picked us up. That's what happened. Yeah. Someone from the team picked us up and took us to our hotel in Brookline.
Also, it's in Brookline. Okay.
And then the next time I ran the first 21, my dad came with me, and we just took an Uber to our hotel in downtown Boston, in the Park Plaza right by the finish line. But since then, either Carly or Dara's picked me up from the airport every year, and we go to the expo right away on Friday. And then we drive back to Hopkinton, and I stay with Carly and her family.
Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, cool. And Cheyenne, it was for the first time you're in Boston, right? You said.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So how did you influence whatever? I think you didn't have any influence. Probably stayed in Hopkinton, right?
Right. Yeah. I think
Okay.
like we just had it made. I feel like we didn't have to deal with any hustle and bustle.
Logistics.
We didn't have to do the 4 a.m. Shuttle to the start line.
Yeah.
Like it was fantastic having that support. And then also, I started at the halfway point. So Carly and her husband took me to the 2-mile mark so I could wave at them and cheer for them. And then they drove me to the halfway point. So I got to see Brett several times before it was time for me to jump in. So that was really cool. And just seeing other people, other types of athletes, like all the different ranges, it was really awesome.
Cool. Halfway point means you're in the Wellesley College area in Wellesley?
Just before then.
Right.
Just before. Okay. Oh, cool. No, because I'm in Boston area too. So for me, I just drive to the start line. So I don't have to figure out the logistics too. But I understand especially for a long distance planning out a race, it's just a lot of things you have to figure out, especially where to stay, like start line, finish line, in between, how to figure out the logistics to get to the start line and all those things. Cool. Let's talk about the race day a little bit. What, strikes out on 2025, the race that you just wrapped up? So let's start with Brett.
Oh, so yeah, like they said, I don't have, so the para bus leaves downtown Boston at like 5 or 5:30 a.m.
Yeah.
And since I stay in Hopkinton, I don't have to do that. We sleep in, eat a nice breakfast. And we went and picked Dara up, and then they'd take us, Carly and her husband and Cheyenne took us to the staging area, which for para and adaptive, it's right on the Hopkinton Town Common, right next to the start line.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have to go to the athletes village and make that mile walk to the start line. We're right next to it. So we're in the staging area. We get to, meet and see a lot of friends and just hang out with other adaptive para athletes and, eat a little bit of pre-race fuel, drink some water, and start walking to the start line. This year, we were like the last ones in the para to walk up, and it was kind of cool because everybody in the little chute is just cheering for us, not everybody walking together. It was just us, and they're just yelling for us. And since Dara lives in Hopkinton, a lot of people there know her, and because they know her, they know my name, so they're cheering for us by name along the course, and it's just
nice.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Dara, anything you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, what I really had fun with was, well, first of all, meeting Cheyenne was amazing, right? I'd only met her virtually leading up to it as Brett's new girlfriend, and was so excited. And to be able to see her at like the 2-mile mark was amazing, and to know like she's going to get in the car and race to mile 13. And the whole plan from the beginning was for me to run with them, even though, we kind of passed the baton, and, I can at that point go up behind, go ahead, but my plan was to maybe stay with them for about the first mile. And we knew that right after the pass off point was the Scream Tunnel in Wellesley with Wellesley College. And I know that's one of Brett's, it's really anyone who's run Boston, it's one of your favorite parts, right? And I know Brett loves it. And I said, okay, I'll stay at least through that, and I'll take a video of you guys running it. And it was amazing because to see you guys high-fiving them, and the video does not do it justice, just for, anyone who's ever seen a video, you have to be living it. You have to be running towards it with like your ears like humming. But so that was really fun. And then just to reconnect at the end of the race when all three of us were done was great. And I will say, doesn't sound very exciting, but I've never this was my 8th Boston. I've never taken the bus back to Hopkinton. Mm-hmm. And that was actually kind of fun. We didn't have to wait on someone picking us up. We went and Brett had a beer at a bar, and it was casual, got in the bus and took it back. So it was just a fun day.
Oh, nice. I didn't realize that you have a bus back to the start line too. So which is great. Oh,
yeah, because some people will drive out, park like in this parking lot. It's a little bit more logistically. But again, if you live, there are a lot of runners from Hopkinton that run Boston. I mean, I think at least 25 to 30. But then you also have people that will like park their car there and take a shuttle to Athletes Village. So that's there for them.
I see.
Yeah.
Cool. Cheyenne, what do you want to share about your experience running your first Boston?
Yeah, I felt some I guess imposter syndrome for a little while because I was just thinking, oh, I don't know if I really belong here. Like all these people have qualified and I'm just here supporting, but I guess at the end of the day, I realized no, I'm supposed to be here because Brett wanted me to be here. And so I got to share that with him. When we were running along, I realized it's important for me to be here. I got to help keep him safe. And so that, it was special getting to see it from his perspective and just all the things that he had told me about all this time. I was finally getting to see it and put faces to names and meet people I've never met before. And I think my favorite part of it was all of the things people were handing out. Brett, you want a popsicle? You want some orange slices? You want some candy? And then reading all the funny signs to him. That was fun.
I have one of the goals that, capture all the signs on the course in one of the years. It's just some of them are so funny. Some of them are so motivating. But if you're running, it's really tough to do that. But, I think a lot of folks does capture it. But you're right. It's a lot of inspiration. It can be a lot of fun and, give it the boost a little bit sometimes when you need it too. Let's talk about what's next for Brett. What's next for you? 7th? Are you going to do the 8th one or more?
Yeah, so I'm definitely planning on running Boston again next year for number 8. I'm registered for Chicago this fall. It'll be my first Chicago marathon. And then Garmin announced a new race series. They're running 2 cities, one of which is Toledo, which is only about an hour away. So I'm going to run that. I'm going to plan on running the full there, depending on the weather. I mean, it's 3 weeks before Chicago.
I see.
So I don't know. I haven't decided which one I'm going to race yet. They should both be flat and fast. So we're just kind of, if the weather looks good for Toledo, I'll go for it there. If not, I'll go for it at Chicago. Whichever one, I'll just have fun at the other one, take it all in. Just, have a good time.
So did you get the bug for running all the 6 majors?
Yeah, I would like to do that. I know the internationals are going to be logistically hard, but I know there's, ways to do it. So God willing, I'm hoping to get there.
So you'll be doing at least 2 with Chicago. Check off 2. So 4 more to go. Or actually now it is 5. They got that Sydney now. Cool. Cheyenne, did you get the bug to run Boston next year?
Yeah.
You got it?
So
okay.
I have another friend who is deaf and low vision, and she wants to qualify next year. For her, she's not doing the competitive division. She just wants to run under 5 hours. And so we will do that at the Erie Marathon in September, or hopefully we'll qualify. And then we'll go next year. Brett can run with Carly and Dara, and I can run with Kathy, and we can meet up at the finish line. That's the hope. That'd be really cool to qualify with her and then actually get to run it with her. We communicate through tactile American Sign Language. So getting to tell her all the different things that I'm seeing that way, it's just really cool. And other people get inspired by seeing that.
Oh, nice.
And then other races, that's really it. I don't necessarily want to run a marathon by myself. I don't enjoy running alone anymore. I think I like having somebody to talk to. So I think I'll stick to guiding.
Nice. No, well, all the best. Dara, what's next for you?
Let's see. I ran Boston, then actually 13 days later, I ran the Revel White Mountains Marathon.
Oh, okay.
So for now, I don't have any plans because I just want to rest my legs. But of course, ran a 5-mile race yesterday. But other than that, I have 5Ks on the plan, and I'm qualified for Boston. So obviously, I'll run the whole thing next year as well. And but right now, that's about it for now. We'll see if a fall marathon comes up. I always say no, and then the next thing I know, I'm running one.
Yep, it just takes a couple of days
Yeah.
after the big race that you have to start planning for the next one. But yeah, well, it was great to have you all, Brett. Thank you, and congratulations, Brett and Cheyenne. I know you guys just moved in and you did your first marathon as a couple, so it's awesome. And it's great to learn that how you come together as a community and so helping each other. And I didn't realize that even existed. So it is a learning for me. So thank you for sharing. And also, Cheyenne, the resources that you shared, I'm sure they'll be helpful for someone else if they don't know when they're listening. But it was great to have you on the pod, and wish you all the best for the next whatever races you are up to. I know some of them already planned, some of them are going to be planned next.